What's going on, y'all? Are y'all ready for some 100% uncut, pure hypocrisy, deception, manipulation, gaslighting, all of that, man, in a big old fat gumbo of propaganda? If you have not seen it with your own eyes and experienced it before, I'm about to give you a masterclass in what all of that looks like. Y'all want to learn how to make a big old fat gumbo pot of propaganda? Well, this next video clip is going to show you just how it is brewed and made up and concoction and delivered out to the public. What's going on, America? Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Before we get into this video, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, share my videos. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notification buttons are turned on to all. Subscribe to my alternative channel, just in case YouTube give me the slip or something. You'll know how to find me. Don't forget to check me out with all the podcasts and follow me on Rumble and the Jungle. All the links are listed below. If you want to donate to my channel, feel free. Those links are below as well. Now, with no further ado, welcome to my party. We're just getting started. So this guy right here that I'm about to show y'all, he currently has, I think, let me see, 1.8 million subscribers. This particular video has 166,000 views. So that means this propaganda that I'm about to show you is going out to a whole bunch of people. So brace yourself. But before we get into that, you see how this video has so many views, so many subscribers and things like that. We have to combat that. That propaganda that's going out from the left, they make sure it doesn't go out from the right like it goes out for the left. If I was this guy right here, I would have the same amount of subscribers and I wouldn't have to be worrying about my views. I wouldn't have to be worried about my subs and all that mess. But unfortunately, the powers that be would rather allow this mess to flourish, whereas my channel, of course, is being suppressed and all of that mess. So if you haven't been watching my live shows, I have set up a way to support my channel through a link below this video that is a part of like a monthly fundraiser, and it's only $5 a month, and the link is right at the top of the about section or the description section of this video. If you want to participate in that to help, you know, kind of combat some of what's going on with my channel and YouTube and all of that crap, please do so. Now, with no further ado, y'all ready, man? Go get yourselves a bib. I'm about to serve up a whole bunch of propaganda coming out of this man. So let's get into this. Real quick, I want y'all to do me a favor. I want y'all to go ahead and text this number and then make sure you just type in MAGA so you can stay in touch with me and you can receive direct text messages from me to let you know whenever I upload a standalone video or I'm about to go live. The number is 330-974-4607. That's 330-974-4607. So this guy named David Pakman, okay, apparently he has a large YouTube channel, and I have seen his face around. I once saw him briefly in a video where actually it was a live stream of the last debate. It was the only place I could see the live stream. I never really sat and listened to him in depth, but I ran across this video and I said, oh my goodness, this right here is a perfect training tape of how people like this can manipulate the minds of gullible people because they are misinformed, or they are just gullible, kind-hearted, susceptible to brainwashing, manipulation. I don't know. But this guy right here puts on a masterclass of that, talking about Donald Trump and how Donald Trump is going to be installed as a dictator. He wants to be a dictator, y'all. So let's go ahead and see what David Pakman, who is packed with nothing but bull crap, let's see what he's talking about.
Let's go back to the plan for Republicans to install a dictator in the Oval Office in January of 2025. Republicans have this plan regardless of who is their nominee and if they win in 2024. There are two particularly pernicious elements to this. Number one is that while Republicans may be a little more tight-lipped about the desire to install a dictator, Donald Trump is being very forthcoming about it. Donald Trump is saying, I will be a dictator if you vote for me in November of 2024.
Anybody who follows Trump, goes to any of his rallies, listens to any of his speeches, have y'all ever heard him say, know what, when I'm installed in 2024, I'm going to become a dictator. See, this is where propaganda starts right here, where you insert meaning that the person who said it didn't mean, when you put your own context to it, when you embellish, all of that stuff. This guy just straight said that Donald Trump told everybody when he wins in 2024, he's going to become a dictator. So I want to see what his footage is, y'all. Because to make a bold claim like that, especially to someone who's a Donald Trump supporter and listens to almost all of his speeches, I'm wondering, what did I miss? So let's go ahead and see. Maybe he'll reveal it if he's an honest person.
But when Donald Trump does do it, when Donald Trump does say it, Republicans cheer. And so there is a sort of two-tiered approach here. There is an undergirding of sorts, a foundation of this dictatorial pipe dream of sorts that comes from the Republican establishment. But then you also have Donald Trump publicly saying things like the following, which he said in South Dakota over the weekend. We looked at this clip yesterday. I'll play it again here. Yeah. Donald Trump straight up saying, if I win, I will just call the attorney general and say, indict this person, indict that person.
Now, wait a minute. That doesn't sound believable. See, when something sounds unbelievable, you should stop. See, this is the training part of it. How to combat propaganda, how to make sure you circumvent being a victim of gaslighting. Now, off grip, that statement that he just made sounds on face value unbelievable. So this man wants us to think that Donald Trump is that blatant about his dictatorship plans. He gets up there and he tells everybody, look, man, if I get installed, I'm going to become a dictator and I'm going to prosecute and go after my political rivals and all of that garbage. So let's see how accurate he is when he makes this statement about what Donald Trump said.
91 fake and phony charges, 91. How many charges are there? But we're going to ask for dismissals of a lot of it. Most of it is just, you ask for dismissal. It's called dismiss the charges. But remember, it's a Democrat charging his opponent. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
So no, wait, you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like Donald Trump is using an example of what true dictatorism is, as he talks about his political rival who's in power currently going after his opponent by using the justice system to do it. Now that sounds like a dictatorship to me. That sounds like a banana republic. Sounds like something they would accuse Xi of doing, or Putin, or Kim Jong-un, or any of those dictators. But this guy's saying Donald Trump's the dictator, as he's pointing out the current administration who is acting as a dictator. So maybe it's going to become more clear as we listen to it.
That means that if I win, and somebody wants to run against me,
okay,
I call my attorney general. I say, listen, indict him.
Wait a minute. So it sounds to me like Trump is explaining what that means based on what's currently happening. He's simply alluding to the fact that, hey, this is what they're doing right now. What this means is these people are doing something, and I'm going to give you an example of what that means. So that means that I could simply call up my attorney general and say, hey, indict these people. Now, I'm able to put that together. I'm able to understand that in context. Do you think Donald Trump's that stupid to get up there and say something like, you know what that means is when I get in, I'm just going to call up my attorney general and tell him to start indicting folks and all of that stuff? Or could it be that Donald Trump is simply expounding upon what these people are currently doing and giving an example of what this means? Could that be it? Because see, I'm wondering if anybody draw any other conclusion from what I just heard, are either very dumb and don't know how to put context clues together, all of that stuff, or they're very evil and deceptive. What else he say?
Well, he hasn't done anything wrong that we know. I don't know. Indict him on income tax evasion. You'll figure it out. And the good thing with me is I have a big voice, and people know me, and you know me for a long time. But people know me, and I'm able to speak. But if you're a regular politician, a really good politician, an honest politician, and you get indicted, you get a subpoena, and that gets reported in the paper, in the news, you have to leave office. And the Republicans in the Senate and the Republicans in the House cannot let this go on, because people are being destroyed.
There you go.
So no, don't do the way. So there you go. See, Here's my thing. I understood that perfectly. So Donald Trump is simply telling the audience of our current political environment and how they are abusing their power, and he's giving examples of what that looks like. He's expounding upon it. And then he goes on to say that it has to stop, not continue under my leadership. He gives an example of it, then says it has to stop. But this weasel right here, he cuts it off before Donald Trump even finishes or expounds upon beyond what that man just played, because he wants to isolate a particular clip and then take it out of context and manipulate his audience of 1.89 million subscribers. That's what he wants to do. So let's hear his take.
Donald Trump openly saying he is going to just say, indict this person, indict that person. There's a very interesting CNN article from Stephen Collinson, written yesterday.
Well, see, there's your problem already. You're using CNN as references. Anybody who does that is either a dummy or corrupt. Now, did you hear what that man just said? He just straight came out. So there you have it. Donald Trump said if he gets elected, he's going to tell his DOJ to indict his political opponents. Now, what's ironic about that lie right there is that the current administration is doing exactly what this man just accused Trump of doing. That's what's crazy about this. And yet CNN, MSNBC, they all support this crap. Big tech allows this man's platform to flourish and the views to reach the audience because they want people in our society to believe that crap. So now either this man doesn't understand basic context clues, he can't comprehend what Trump was really saying, or he's evil and he's a propagandist and he's manipulating you. This is no different than when Donald Trump openly joked about Hillary Clinton's 30,000 emails, and then you heard people who wanted us to take them seriously as either commentators or news networks get up there and say, look at this, Donald Trump openly asked for collusion with Vladimir Putin. Yeah, he just straight got up there and said, if you, Vladimir Putin, can you help me win the election? So why did the whole audience crack up laughing when they heard that? Why did these people kind of cheer when he gave the example? Because the example that he gave is what is currently happening. He was simply describing it in more detail. But this guy right here, he can't figure that out. He took it for face value. He took it for face value. This is a corrupt man right here, and I'm gonna have to hurt him deep on the way out.
Called Trump is explaining exactly how wild and extreme his second term would be.
Wow.
I don't have to read the article to you, but suffice it to say, it goes through in quite a bit of detail Donald Trump's justification for the fact that he is going to become a one-man wrecking crew that some of us might call a wannabe dictator. And the justification is things are so bad. It's a dark time for the United States.
What?
It used to be great. It's no longer great. You need me to make it great. And the way I'm going to do that includes by going after my political enemies and getting them indicted and arrested.
Wow. That man just inserted himself all the way in Donald Trump's head and took Donald Trump's speech and statement completely out of context. And you wonder why half of our country is running around talking about Donald Trump's guilty for something. What? Oh, but he did all kind of stuff. Like what? And have no idea the stuff that they're accusing Donald Trump of, the people that they voted for is still doing that right now. They got in office and they're doing every single thing that this man is accusing Donald Trump of doing or wanting to do, as he lies to his audience, manipulates them and tries to gaslight them and belittles their intelligence. Playing that in context, how can you draw that conclusion from what you just heard unless you are extremely dumb or this man is extremely evil? All right, so let's continue hearing about this diabolical scheme that Donald Trump is about to implement as a dictator.
So there are two layers here, and this is the takeaway once again.
Well, let me take it away.
It is bigger than Trump's plan to become a dictator.
What?
It is Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, many Republicans who plan to install a dictator no matter which Republican nominee is ultimately the nominee, and certainly if they win.
Now, do you really think that that's what the Republicans are doing? You think they're sitting back saying, you know what we want to do? We want to install a dictator. First of all, Republican values are totally opposed to dictatorship. We are upset because we see the direction that the Democrat Party is currently taking our country in. Okay, so when you talk about dictatorships, well, let's go ahead and look at some of the characteristics of a dictatorship or a tyrant. Number one, they oppose freedom of speech. I mean, if you're going to become a dictator, the first thing you got to do is go after freedom of speech. You don't want people out there on the internet talking about you, exposing you, criticizing you, or any of those things. So what you do is you set up a system that can suppress speech. Thus, YouTube suppressing my channel. So if you want to help support my channel, don't forget to click on that link and help donate to my cause, okay? But anyway, let me get back to this. So you do things like form relationships with entities that can suppress speech, that can censor speech, and you outsource it so that people won't recognize you're the true dictatorship. Just like the White House is now telling all of these news networks to become more scrutinizing of this whole impeachment inquiry. Yeah, y'all got to go after this. Y'all got to go ahead and combat this. That sounds like a dictatorship to me. That's what that sounds like. Number two, you want to go after guns. You can't have the people resisting your tyranny. So who's the party that wants to go after all the guns? Who's the party that wants to suppress speech? Who's the party that has been spying on American citizens for what they believe, how they feel? Who's the party that wanted folks to walk around with things on their face and get injected with things like that against their will? Who's the party that's doing all of that stuff? It's not the Republican Party. It's the party that this guy supports right here. But he's talking about that they're going to install a dictatorship. Unbelievable, this man's manipulation.
Election of Donald Trump was a triumph, reads the Heritage Foundation website. A triumph that offered the best chance to reverse the left's incessant march of progress.
So he's saying that this article is saying Trump was the best option to stop the left's triumph of progress. Now, what kind of progress are we talking about here? Because see, maybe this guy, since he don't understand context clues, let's see what his interpretation of that is.
They are straight up saying it. The left has made progress.
What?
Donald Trump's presidency gave us a chance to reverse it.
Now, you hear the misinterpretation of that? He's basically saying that the right conservatives recognize that the left has made good progress. There you go. Not progress in the form of destroying our country, making us less safe, opening up our border, all of that stuff. Not progress in destroying the country and making us weaker on the globe and all of that stuff. No, not that type of progress. They're talking about all of the wonderful progress that the left has made. And for some reason, we can't recognize it, or we want to undo it. We want to destroy it. See, and Donald Trump right there is the best option to destroy all of this wonderful progress that all of the people in America are saying it sucks right now. So let me get it straight. This wonderful progress is not recognized by the public. That's why Joe Biden's numbers are so low. Is that what that is? That's why everybody has a negative view about the direction that the country's going in because of all of this wonderful progress. And then Trump is talking about coming in and destroying all of the progress the left has made. No, he's talking about coming in and reversing the negative progress. Progress can be in two forms, positive and negative. If your intentions are to destroy the country, then you can make progress in that direction. And that's what the left has been doing, making progress in destroying and unraveling all of the real progress that we had under Donald Trump. See, so this guy straight flipped that whole context. And he wants us to believe that we're envious of all the progress that the left has made. Please look at their cities if you want to see their progress. It sucks.
They are not going to waste this opportunity if they get Trump or whoever elected in November of 2024. This is one of the most disturbing political movements in American history, certainly in the last 100 years. And it's two parts. It's Maga, which has weaponized and debased the Republican Party. If Trump were less incompetent, he could have achieved even more destructive things.
Now, you hear the fool? All right, this MAGA. See, this is one of the propaganda pieces right here. They want to make sure they brand their political opponents, not the Uniparty, not the rhinos, not the Republicans in name only. See, those are the good ones because they're complicit. They're the Uniparty ones. But the ones who recognize what's going on, they oppose the Uniparty, they oppose globalism, they oppose all of these stupid policies that rhinos and Democrats have supported down throughout the years. Those are the MAGA ones. See, there you go. And the voters out there are radical. They're extremists. They're MAGA folks. They're filled with racism and all of this stuff. No, this man is filled with corruption evil, propaganda, manipulation, all of that stuff. He's infested with it. I've never seen someone drop so much propaganda in such a short time right here. It's packed rich with nothing but all types of elements and ingredients of gaslighting and propaganda. So now here this guy is saying that Trump, if he was more competent, then he could have accomplished even more as far as destroying the country. So let me get this straight. Unemployment was lowest it's ever been for almost every group of people. We were making money. There was job security, all of that stuff. That wasn't progress. That wasn't progress according to him. It's what the Democrats have been doing for the last 2.5 years, which is nothing but destroying the country.
The Heritage Foundation Project 2025, in concert with all of these other characters and this plan that they are putting in place around Trump or whoever, that is the reduction in incompetence that we've been afraid of. And by the way, they'll roll back women's rights further.
Here it comes.
EPA, they want to get rid of, roll back environmental restrictions and regulations, whatever.
Yeah, it is, man. At the end of his speech, at the end of his routine, the dismount comes with packing in a whole bunch of extra fear tactics and stuff like that. Let's throw some stuff in there while we at it. Not only is Trump a dictator and he's about to roll back all of these wonderful policies that the left have implemented. Yeah, see, not only that, but let me go ahead and throw out some other things that can manipulate the public with these, 144,000 views on this video right here that this man just posted. And I'm struggling to get 2,000, 3,000 views and stuff like that. So share my videos. Y'all hear that? Share my videos. So this guy right here, he's talking about all of these horrific things that the Republicans are going to do. So they're going to roll back women's rights. How? Which ones are, what right are you referring to, pal? Or are you just going to throw that out there as a fear tactic, just like all propaganders do? So we got what women's rights are going to be rolled back. What else is going to be rolled back? Let's go ahead and pack it all in. So let me understand this. Now all of a sudden, Republicans are going to take women back to the handmaiden days, put them in the house somewhere, make sure they're barefoot and pregnant, can't vote, can't talk in public, things like that. Then, according to this guy, we're going to destroy the environment instead of having common sense regulations and not being bought into this whole Green New Deal thing and destroying our whole economy and our way of life and giving our enemies an advantage, and making it hard for businesses in America to flourish. No, that couldn't be it. See, it's really, we want to destroy the environment, right? You see how this man is manipulating these topics and throwing them out there just like that. And there's people listening going, yeah, that's right. Whatever that means, I'm assuming they're going to destroy the whole environment because they're evil, right? What else? What other evil things they're going to do?
Censor LGBT and people of color, their history, their existence, as we know, through Don't Say Gay and book bans and all of these other things.
Packed rich with nothing but lies. So now we're going to censor LGBTQ and all that stuff. No, we're not into censorship. It is you guys that do that. I mean, maybe he hasn't been checking out all of those whistleblowers that talked about how the FBI and the DOJ and all of them have been putting together all these buzzwords and, examples of extremists and things they could say that might endanger folks. The left are the only ones that say speech is violence. We don't say that. The left is the only one that feels like they need to suppress or censor speech because they can't defend anything else. They can't argue on the merits. So they got to say, you shut up, you fascist, you racist, you white nationalist, and you're homophobic. And then he goes on to say that we want to unexist folks. Is that what we want? He's talking about the Don't Say Gay bill, which is a lie. That man is talking about down there in Florida, where Ron DeSantis didn't want them teaching these things to kids in school about transformers, humans in disguise. He didn't want them teaching that. He didn't want them teaching about how to perform certain acts with other, people of the same sex or even people of the opposite sex for all that matters. Yeah, he was talking about that. But this guy right here just straight lied, manipulating his audience. See, I'm exposing it, man. If you ever want to know how propaganda and gaslighting exist and it impacts our society, this guy is it. I don't know who's supporting him, who's egging him on, who's financing this dude. I don't know his background, but I do know he has a pretty darn big platform and reach to a lot of people. So he has some incentive to keep pushing this propaganda and lies. And most likely these platforms have incentive to allow him to flourish because they support this garbage and they want to stop Trump too.
It's such a long list, we can't even go through it right
they're
now.
lies.
This is extremely dangerous. At least we know about it. If we want to find the silver lining here, it's at least if they were trying to do it in secret, which it's not in secret because there's a website about this Project 2025, but if they were trying to do it subtly or only notify their followers about it, we know about it. We know about it, and we know what the stakes are. Let's just hope people vote.
So that last whole phrase right there shows just how dumb or how evil this man is, because we're not hiding things. It is the current administration who constantly get busted by whistleblowers coming out and saying these people are spying on parents, these people are labeling parents domestic terrorists, these people are going after Christians, they're going after peaceful protesters, these people are secretly targeting conservatives, these people are monitoring your speech, these people are working with big tech to make sure that they go after and suppress certain narratives. These people are the real dictators. They work in secret and it comes to light because of either brave whistleblowers or whatever. But yet he's trying to say that the people who's fighting against the real dictators are the ones that are openly saying, hey, we're going to become dictators and we're going to roll back all these women's rights and we're going to do all of that. Do you think we would be that stupid? Only Democrats do that. Only Democrats come out and say the opposite and then secretly plan stuff in the backdrop and then it all comes to light eventually. They do that stuff. But do you think conservatives are dumb enough to come out there and just say, hey, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to roll back all the wonderful progress of the left, and then what we're going to do is become dictatorships? Because we have this built-in motivation to suppress women and their progress, to suppress black people and their history and their progress. And you know what else? We want to make sure we roll back LGBTQ stuff and all that rights. It has nothing to do with the kids. It has nothing to do with them wanting additional rights. It has nothing to do with them walking around and saying we have the right to go in this bathroom and that bathroom and we should have access to your kids. It has nothing to do with that. It's just because we are a-holes. We just want to implement tyranny across the United States. That's what this man is trying to make his audience believe. Now, this right here is a fascinating piece. This is one of the pieces that if you really want to give an example to whomever or have an example for yourself about how corrupt certain folks on the left are in regards to dividing our country based on lies, propaganda, manipulation, not just dividing our country, but sending out all kind of dis and misinformation that they are now labeling. Because I don't have to label these things dis and misinformation because you combat dis and misinformation with what I'm doing right now, exposing it and making a counter argument. See, I don't have to go out there and say this guy should be removed from the internets because he's out there spreading dis and misinformation and all that stuff. No, I just listen to his words and I say this guy is corrupt, evil, and he's trying to manipulate his audience. Now, people who watch these videos have a choice. See, it's not up to big tech to decide whether this guy prospers and flourishes and then me over here with my argument is suppressed. But that's what they're doing. See, so instead of allowing the platforms to be fair and the competition to be fair, guys like this, boom, blow up. But people who expose guys like this, what? We can't have that because we agree with this guy. So let's go ahead and lie to this little guy over here and say, we don't know why people just stop watching your channel and you're losing 12 to 15,000 subscribers randomly. They must have all just unsubscribed. That's what it is. They no longer interested in what you have to say. Are you kidding me? So this is what we're up against. That is why every conservative on YouTube or any of the platforms, you guys really need to support them. But the other thing is use these examples to combat these lies, propaganda, and all the crap that this guy just dished out. He is infested. It's coming out of his nose. That dude is walking around as one big fat gaslight. That's what he is. And so I had to expose it after listening to that. I said, this guy is either really dumb or he's really corrupt and evil or both. I cannot believe this man has 1.89 million subscribers, and that rich piece of propaganda and lies has 177,000 views. Well, help this video reach that too by sharing it, sending it out to all your friends, chop it up, catch little pieces and clips that you like or whatever. Do what you got to do to expose and shine a light on how they are manipulating our society. Now, before I go, don't forget, you want to support the channel, click on that fundraising link right below the description. Follow me on all the other platforms. Follow my podcast on pretty much everything. Follow me on Rumble. Subscribe to my alternative channel. And those that want to just support me through Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, outside of the fundraising, feel free. Those links are below as well. Now, we'll see y'all next time when I am called upon to slay these propagandists. And I don't mean like physically, because see, this guy right here, he doesn't understand context. He would say that Kevin wants to, come out and harm and physically slay all of us. He's dangerous. No, it's metaphoric for the dummies. See, you got the dummy proof what you say. You got the propaganda proof what you say nowadays. God bless you. See y'all next time. Kevin's Corner. Take care. God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share my videos. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.